All right, guys, we are back again this week with, you guessed it, more boxes, but this time these are a little bit different than what I normally unbox. These are some flight sticks from VKBsim, and well, you might be asking, what do you use flight sticks for? Well, for some of you who don't know, I'm a big Star Citizen fan. I've been playing for a little over a year now. I've been heavily involved in the community. I've been in races. I've done tons of Star Citizen photography. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen some of my wonderful screenshots that I've taken. And it's about time that I upgrade my flight sticks. And what makes Star Citizen a lot of fun to play is playing with flight sticks. And VKB are one of the companies that a lot of the community are very fond of. And I finally got my hands on a set of their Gladiator NXT sticks. I'm really excited. It's my first HOSA setup, which if you didn't know means it's basically 2 sticks instead of a stick and a throttle, which is what I'm currently used to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check these out. So you can see that they're sort of packaged together, the base module, and then this one is the right grip, and then that one will be very similar, just with the left side. So get this extremely loud plastic out of here. So let's actually open up the grip first, because I think that's what's most exciting to look at. Go and just slide that open, pull that out. Not a whole lot to the box. The stick pretty much comes in one piece, as you can see here. It's made out of plastic. It does have, some screws here and there, but mostly made out of plastic. It's a pretty nice plastic, I would say. But these, on the other hand, they feel pretty good for plastic. They've got a ton of buttons. I know most of you probably aren't using flight sticks for any reason, but if you've ever gotten a chance to use any, they're a lot of fun to play with because there's lots of clicky and turny buttons, and that's what I love about these so far, is that there is a 2-step trigger on the front, so you can pull it halfway and then you can pull it all the way. So if you're familiar with Star Citizen, you can set your primary weapons to the first stage and then your secondary weapons to the second stage. You've got this button up here which can click both forward and backward. You've got a plethora of buttons on this side here, which I'm not even going to go into what I map my things to, but as you can see, pretty much everything has 4 directions. This actually is a joystick, which is really useful for like positioning your ship, among many other things. Everybody kind of has their own use for the joysticks. I personally like to use it for positioning my ship, but we'll see once I get them all set up. It also clicks in like a standard joystick. You also have these things called hats, which is what I believe they're called. They usually just move in 4 different directions, and they also click inward. Same thing with this one up here. And I would imagine that these are textured differently so that you don't have to look down to figure out what it is that you are selecting. And then of course you got a big red button, which a lot of people like to set to their missiles. And then you've got another thumb stick right here, which also moves, I believe, moves in 4 different directions and clicks down. That's a pretty common thing you'll notice with a lot of these, is that if there's a joystick of sorts, they move left, right, and then also down. And then also you've got a button up here, and you've got one down here where your pinky will rest. And yeah, so this is the right-handed grip, and that's pretty much all there is to it. There's a little cable here at the bottom that plugs into the base. What else do you get in the box? You get some other extra hardware. It looks like maybe like an extended hand grip if you want to change that out, some screws, some other really tiny hardware bits and pieces. I'm not going to go through all this right now, but it looks like you get an extra hat switch in here as well, so it's nice to see that they've included some potentially replacement parts, as well as just some extra accessories in case you need it. That's one thing I've heard about companies like VKB, is that a lot of times the sticks and the accessories that you get are pretty interchangeable or repairable. So if you go into a dogfight a little too hard, which I have plenty of friends that have done that, where they break their stick because they're just going absolutely crazy, it's nice to know that you can pull the grip off, either change the grip if you want. They have like a tilted grip, which is pretty cool. Or if you happen to break something on your grip, you can take the grip off, take it apart, replace it. We like to see that. So super nice. So this is the base module for the Gladiator NXT. I'm not sure if you absolutely have to use this base with this stick, if you can mix and match them. I'm new to the VKB ecosystem. If you know, let me know in the comments. If you're following me on Twitter and you're watching this video because it's a Star Citizen video, welcome. Thanks for coming by. I'm a stick newbie, so just bear with me, okay? So at the top here, you get a quick install guide. It looks extremely complicated on the back, but supposedly it is a quick install guide there. So maybe we'll try to put it together. You get a bunch of stuff here at the top. Looks like a cable hider if you wanted to shrink wrap your cables. Oh, they do include the little screwdriver for you. Some tons of different spring options here. So again, back to that idea of a ton of customizability, depending on how tight or loose you want your stick to move. So that's nice. You get a USB Type B to Type A. So that's interesting. Don't see that too frequently anymore. And then of course you have the base itself, which again is made out of plastic, but honestly, I think that's totally fine for most people, especially if you're like me and you're not like super die-hard into your sim setup quite yet, but you're getting there. The bottom is exposed, and I think there's actually a piece underneath here. Yes, so there's a metal plate. Okay, so the base itself, like I said, is made from plastic, the same plastic as the grip. You've got some switches and dials and things up here as well, which again kind of adds to the versatility, and you can map all of these to whatever it is that you want, your landing gear, your VTOL engines, your mining mode, whatever it is. Now, most of the times if you're running two sticks, you're probably mostly flying fighters, or you're probably doing less utilitarian stuff and more combat-oriented things. From what I understand, that's what the benefit of having two sticks is, as opposed to a throttle and a stick, whereas a throttle typically has more switches and buttons. So if you do mining, or you do any of the other utilitarian stuff, cargo hauling, whatever, if you have a ship that has lots of extra doors and components or whatever, having a throttle gives you a few more options for that, whereas having some sticks, you just get some pretty basic switches and dials here. So, and you got this beefy metal plate, which has these sticky plates on the bottom. I would have to guess this is steel, I'm guessing. Feels like steel. And this is what you're going to inevitably sit this on your table. We're just gonna keep it from sliding around. And that was actually one of my big questions with these, is because they're a little taller than what I have now, I was wondering how the base was gonna be. So I suppose once you get the stick centered and plugged in, you get your springs chosen, you take this and then you would just mount that onto the base plate, and then that kind of keeps it grounded. And actually, if there are certain gaming chairs and stuff, and there's mounts that you can get for your desk that you can actually screw, there's some screw holes in this base plate here. The screw holes, you can actually screw these into mounts that connect to your desk or to your chair even. So if you want to go completely crazy, you can do that. I actually just, for now, just sit mine on my desktop for the time being. But again, versatility seems to be kind of the big thing with these hobby grade flight sticks. So we'll follow the quick start guide, okay? I don't want anyone yelling at me, and I don't want to break this. This looks pretty important. So just for the purposes of the unboxing and just kind of like checking it out, I just wanted to kind of show you guys what it looks like. My cat wants to play right now. So it basically would mount like this, and you've got your stick. And like I said, you can kind of customize all the bits and pieces, and once you screw it all together, it's nice and stout, so you can have a lot more finite control. It definitely feels a lot different than what my current sticks feel like, but we'll have to play around with it and see. So there you go. That is the right stick. So let's put out the left stick, which we're gonna fast forward through because it's the same thing, just on the left. Okay, let's cut open the other one. I don't expect any difference for this one, but what kind of unboxing would it be if I didn't actually get a knife out and unbox something? I would be a fraud. So again, this is the left side, but exactly the same as the right side, just for the left side. It's the same, but different. More crinkly plastic. I love that. Sweet. All right, let's open the grip up. Contactless twist access. Okay. There's a lot of terminology listed on these that I'm not super familiar with, so eventually we'll learn it together. But make sure to get subscribed if you want to see a review of these at some point, or if you'd like to know more about them, or if you'd just like to know more about Star Citizen stuff. A quick start guide. Exactly the same. These bases are exactly the same as one another. I'll take this tape off again. Clip it in. And like I said, I'll come back and I'll fully assemble it later. But there you go. There's your dual stick setup, your, as they call, HOSAS. So yeah, the left stick here is exactly the same as this right stick. It uses the same base. The only difference is that the grip is obviously mirrored. So they are exactly the same buttons wise. So all the buttons I went over in the first one apply to the second one. There you go. My first set of fancy flight sticks. So shout out to my friend for sending these over to me to upgrade my setup. You know who you are. Thank you so much. I'm excited to get them hooked up, and I'm excited to jump back into Star Citizen. It's been a while since I've really gotten to play a whole lot. So there you go. These are the VKBsim Gladiator NXT modular flight control system. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. And as always, make sure to subscribe to see more content like this and potentially more spaceships. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. I will have them somewhere down below. I'm very tired because I didn't sleep last night, but here we are. And, you know, what do you guys think of this unboxing set? Is this a little better than the last time? Let me know in the comments. I got a lot more fun, cool stuff coming in the next week or so, so stay tuned. But, yeah, flight sticks. We like flight sticks. We like spaceships here in this house. If you know me, you know I like spaceships. And if you didn't know that I like spaceships, you do now. Anyway, I'm going to go and drink some coffee because I'm exhausted. But I hope you guys enjoyed this chill little space stick unboxing, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.